Hi guys and welcome. I'm sure by now most people are aware of the breakdancing that's happened at the Olympics. I really want to talk about it because I was excited that breakdancing was going to be an Olympic sport. I thought, wow, neat, fun. It will be interesting to watch. Oh boy. And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of like great talent, but I think some was underwhelming. The B girl from Australia, that that was rough. And I do feel really bad for her because I know the internet's like trolling her like crazy, so I don't want to add to that. But yeah, it was not really what you expect when you think of breakdancing. But anyway, let's kind of get into it. So this was the first year the Olympics had breakdancing as one of its sports. It got introduced to the Olympics after it featured at the Summer Youth Olympic Games in Buenos Aires in 2018. Following its understanding success at the Games in Argentina, breaking was added to the Olympic Paris 2024 Olympic Sports program. And after this year, they have said that it will not be at the LA 2028 Olympics. Eek. Can't really blame them. But that's not to say that there wasn't some extraordinary talent. There was. But I think the event was really confusing, and I think it was really hard for people to get into it. Like, I love every Olympic sport. I'm not really like a sports watcher in general, but when the Olympics come, I'm watching everything and I'm getting into it. I could not get into breakdancing, and I wanted to. It just made me infuriated because it made no sense. The points, there is no real points. They have like a scoring system based on 5 categories, which consist on creativity, personality, technique, variety, performance, and musicality. But this is all subjective, kind of like how figure skating was back in the day, where everything was kind of subjective and things were messy and people were mad because you had no reason for giving this person the medal versus the other. And that's what I was noticing while watching the breakdancing, especially specifically the men's. I didn't get to watch the female breakdancing except for in the morning, seeing how terribly bad the Australia team performed. Well, the Australian woman's performance was. I only woke up to see that everyone was kind of like clowning on the Australian B girls' performance, and then was like, okay, I need to watch the guys' performances today. Anyway, I was watching them. I was so confused and so infuriated because a lot of them didn't seem like extraordinary. Don't get me wrong, a lot were, and obviously it's hard and difficult. I'm not saying I could do it, obviously. But I think we're used to seeing high levels of breakdancing. Like even on shows like So You Can Think You Can Dance, we're used to seeing pretty high quality breakdancing. So some of these people seemed a little lackluster for the Olympics. And a lot of the time, someone do these amazing tricks and you go, okay, now I get it. I see, that's what they're looking for. And that person wouldn't even win. So you could not understand where these points were coming from. Once I looked it up, knowing there isn't really points, it's just judges deciding who their favorite is, that kind of made sense, but still infuriating. And I found it very strange as a sport, like it didn't jive with the Olympics. So there was like this attitude of like kind of like gruff and tough and very like boxing fighty kind of spirit, very like, hey, getting in their face. But at the Olympics, that's not really the vibe. Like usually competitors aren't really like trying to act aggressive or cool. I don't know. It just didn't feel Olympic. And what made things worse was the music. They're acting all tough and cool and stuff, and the music was like a weird jazz type music. Like it did not fit. It almost made it feel like satirical and clownish. So it was really hard to get into. And then there's so many times you'd see like these athletes, like the Japanese athlete who performed incredibly and lost to the USA. Even the spectators were upset. So it was so confusing to see who was winning and who was losing. The only bright side was the Canadian one. And I'm Canadian, so I was pretty impressed and happy. And he actually was very talented. I actually can't take that away from him. He's very talented. I do think he deserved to win. All in all, it was kind of a strange Olympic sport. I think they kind of set it up poorly. So I do think there is maybe potential in the future to have it in the Olympics, but I think they need a different scoring system that's quantitative so we can see why someone's winning, why someone's losing, how someone's getting points, how they're losing points, not just qualitative thing where judges just choose their favorite. Because I think it's hard for watchers to get into the sport and care and feel like it's valid. But anyway, that was my take on it. It was interesting to watch. But anyway, I'm curious to see what you guys think. Did you enjoy it? Would you want to see it again in the Olympics? Or are you glad that it's not going to be coming back in 2028? All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye.